ways to be coverage of the National Football League on EA Sports. Just a short time ago, smoke from the pyrotechnics filled the dome as the Colts made their way out of the locker room. We're set for football as the Colts get set to match up with the Seattle Seahawks. Brandon Gaudin alongside the one and only Charles Davis. And CD, lots of compelling storylines in a game like this. Let's take a look at some of the numbers for these two offenses.
And I'm glad you brought up the numbers because sometimes it's hard to quantify a team's performance solely by judging the numbers. But I think with these two teams, what you see is a pretty accurate representation of who they are.
Here's the kicker, Jason Myers, to get this one started. And off we go on EA Sports. This fielded right at the goal line. And he'll be stopped up at the 25. The Colts getting ready to take over for the first time. And you get a look at their 6-year quarterback in his first season wearing the horseshoe. It's Carson Wentz.
And Carson Wentz made the move from Philadelphia to Indianapolis back in mid-February. And although his last season as an Eagle, not one that he wants to remember, he's now reunited with his former offensive coordinator and current Colts head coach Frank Reich and gets to play behind one of the best offensive lines in football. A great place to resurrect his career.
Wentz now on first down. Oh, he's going to take a shot right away. And that's going to wind up incomplete. However, we do have a flag down. Let's check in with our referee.
Oh, man, can't do that.
So a costly penalty yardage-wise as that'll move the football down to the spot of the foul.
And what the officials are looking for in these situations, whether you're playing the man or the ball. And if you're playing the man, you get a lot less leeway in terms of what's going to happen at the end of the play. But if you're looking for the football, it's less likely to draw the flag.
Throwing on first is Wentz. Oh, he's going to air it out right away. And that's going to be too high, out of bounds and incomplete. He was looking that time to get it to Paris Campbell, and that'll bring up second down.
An early message that this secondary is going to be tested because even though it fell incomplete, it almost felt like a warning shot to get things going.
Here's 2nd and 10. Throwing now is Wentz. That's complete to Jack Doyle, the tight end. And he works it past the 30, almost to the 25. 16 yards the pickup there. The Colts have a first down.
Carson Wentz had Zach Ertz and later Dallas Goedert during his time in Philadelphia as excellent tight ends. But I think he'll grow to like Jack Doyle as well with the Colts. That connection there gives him a first down.
They'll run. This is Jonathan Taylor. Making the stop that time, Bobby Wagner. 2nd and 7. Wentz going to give this to Taylor. And he's going to get this pretty close to a first down as the tackle is made at the Seahawks' 18-yard line. Call it a gain of 5 there on the run, but they'll remain a yard or 2 short here with 3rd down coming up. They'll try and run for the first with Taylor. And Taylor, I don't think he got there. No, he did not. Unable to break free, and he's marked short. He needed 2, he got 1, and that's going to leave him with 4th down and a yard.
Well, they picked up a portion of it, but not all that they needed. Now that leads to a decision on 4th and 1. Let's see what they decide to do.
For the Colts field goal, a 34-yard attempt.
Blankenship's kick is good. And the Colts hit the scoreboard first. It's 3-0. In the end, the opening drive, Charles, does yield points. Maybe not the touchdown that they wanted, though.
Yeah, but bottom line, they wanted to get something out of that drive, and they did that. 3 points, they won't turn that down at all.
The Colts kicking team is out there now, and they will send this one away. This is DJ Reed returning. And the tackle going to be made right there at the 25-yard line. And for the first time, we get a look at the veteran Russell Wilson as he gets set to lead yet again the Seattle Seahawks offense.
Gave the commencement address at the University of Wisconsin a couple of years ago. One of the most popular players ever to pull on the uniform there. The beginning of his career, he was a so-called game manager. Take care of the football and rely on the defense. Now, in this stage of his career, the offense runs through him, and it runs very well.
Wilson and the Seahawks take over now, 1st and 10 at their own 25-yard line. This is the Oklahoma State alum, Chris Carson. And he's upended after a gain of 2 out to the 27. Give him a couple on the carry there, 2nd and 8.
What an advantage having an elite guy in the middle of the defensive line, because not only does he take up the space and let the linebackers run free, but he can also make plays himself, as we just saw there.
From the 27, Wilson. And this will go to Carson out wide. And he gets this up to the 34 out of bounds there.
Don't be mad. Don't be mad. It's more coming. It's more coming.
On 3rd down, Carson. And boy, he is very close to a first down, but from where they're spotting that football, he's going to be a foot or so short. Only a yard on the pickup there, and it's going to leave him with a 4th down.
4th and short, partner. I mean, this would be a really risky call. Here we are in the first quarter.
On your own side of the field.
Own side of the field. But boy, what a tone setter that would be to go for it and get it, wouldn't it?
You're gritty today. I like it.
I'm feeling it.
On 4th down, ready to punt, Michael Dixon. Back deep for the Colts, Nyheim Hines. Fielded just inside the 20. 43-yard punt, but they get 9 back on the return. And the Colts will go on offense here, 1st and 10. The Colts coming back out here on offense. And Charles, this is a team that is going to have their fourth different starting QB to open a season in Frank Reich's 4 years there, no matter if it's Wentz or Eason week 1. All the drama with Carson Wentz with the injury, said he'd be out 5 to 12 weeks. Well, he has progressed, been back at practice. We'll see what happens. But what do you see from Indianapolis in 2021?
Well, Wentz is definitely trending towards being able to start week 1. It looks like the injury is holding up, and that's exactly what they want. But the way this team...
The ball is free. Taylor lost it. And the Seahawks have picked it up. And they're already in the red zone. The 18-yard line is where they take over. Obviously, you got to hold on to the football, but I've got to give credit to the defense there. Good job of knocking it free.
Yeah, because a lot of the time we just blame the offensive players for not taking care of it. How about the effort of the defensive players knowing that guys are going to, and if they're good, anticipate the contact coming and try and cover up the football. And they still find ways to knock it free.
But, Charles, these Seattle Seahawks, as they get ready here for their next drive, they're a team that, I don't know, I really haven't heard a whole lot about in the offseason. Maybe that's a good thing. 12-4 last year. They won the NFC West for the first time since 2016, but then they lost to the Rams in the wild card round. But what are you hearing about Seattle and the prognostication for this upcoming campaign?
Well, Brandon, they've got a brand-new offensive coordinator who came from division rival Rams, and they expect this offense to take another leap. DK Metcalf and Tyler Lockett out wide. They get Chris Carson back full-time at running back. Russell Wilson, of course, is Russell Wilson. And if they start playing a little bit better on defense, and they were starting to do that the second half of last season, this Seahawks team will once again be dangerous. But what a division. The Rams, the 49ers, the Cardinals. Wow, that's a tough division. But the Seahawks won it last year. They expect to be in that mix again this season.
And they'll open their season on the road in Indianapolis week 1. It's a gain of a couple, and it'll be second and goal. Looking at this now, you got a couple more cracks here this close. Sneak it.
I don't think you even go into a huddle. Just line up, snap it, and fall in behind those guys into the end zone.
Second and goal from the 1. Carson again, and he will take this one in for the Seattle touchdown. Chris Carson punching it in from a yard away, and the Seahawks have taken the lead. A solid blocking up front from the guys on the offensive line allowed him to get in for the touchdown.
Yeah, some might say that the guys on the offensive line were in concert. I used to have a coach who called it marrying up. Meaning, when you get on a guy, you just stay right there, and each guy has his own assignment. That allowed the runner to make the big move towards the end zone.
Myers connects on the PAT, and that makes it a 7-3 lead. So they only needed 3 plays on that drive, and it was all capped off by the Chris Carson touchdown run. And after the touchdown, here's Myers to boot it away. Here's Isaiah Rodgers to return. And able to get this out to the 25.
Get ready, get ready, get ready.
Indianapolis offense ready to go again. And last time, not only the turnover, but that turned into 6 points. They got to make up for that here.
We always hear about empty possessions, but some are worse than others. You can have an empty possession, punt the ball away, get yourself set to play defense, but when you turn it over, it changes momentum, and when they take it downfield and punch it in on you, that's a bad possession all the way around.
Yeah, but you're hungry to get back out there, aren't you?
You'd better be, because otherwise, it's going to be a long day for you.
They'll run with Taylor to begin the drive. And he will lose yardage here back at the 23-yard line. 2 yards the loss, 2nd and 12.
That was a good illustration of setting the edge as a defensive end, being able to make sure that you stay on your feet no matter what type of block, and you're not going to get pushed inside. Stayed home, skated to the outside, and made the play.
First play of the drive goes the wrong way. Here's 2nd and 12. They give to Taylor out of the gun. After getting stuffed on first down, not much better there. 2-yard gain.
I know the scouting report on him is that he doesn't possess the eye discipline to be an elite linebacker. And what that means is his ability to read, react, and make a play. But on that one, he looked like one of those guys. And the Seahawks add a couple of extra DBs going with the dime look here.
Indeed, 6 on the field. Now Wentz. And down he goes. They bring down Wentz on the sack. L.J. Collier in there to get him for a loss of 9 yards, and that also leads to 4th down.
Well, how about that? A dime set on defense, 6 defensive backs. None of them blitz. They're just back there in coverage. Defensive lineman gets the sack.
That's where the O-line, they go to the sideline, they keep their helmets on so the cameras can't find them, right?
Yeah, the cameras can't find them, but I know one thing. The O-line coach will.
To punt on 4th down, here's Rigoberto Sanchez. That'll go as a punt of 32 yards. And the Seahawks will have great field position to start this drive. They take over on the short side of the field. The Seahawks again now ready to take over on offense. And for them, a touchdown their last go-around. Obviously, they'll be hoping to do that again.
And when you start plotting for this drive, when you start thinking to yourself, okay, what are we going to do? You don't go away from what you did before because that worked, but you have to be prepared for wrinkles and counters because you know they'll make some adjustments.
On 1st and 10, it's Wilson. And his throw's going to be incomplete. Dwayne Eskridge, the intended receiver. That'll bring up 2nd down. Looked like he had a couple of different options as far as who to throw to on that play. And who am I to say this, but I'm not sure he made the right decision.
Well, the window of opportunity is always going to be small in the NFL. That's why those quarterbacks who make quick decisions and have quick releases have the most success in this league.
To throw once more on 2nd and 10. Wilson. And he takes a shot on the release as this will be incomplete.
Well, so far in this drive, they've done some good work. They force incompletions on 1st and 2nd down, bring up 3rd and 10. That brings up the big question. Do they bring pressure or do they play coverage on this down?
Now they face a 3rd and 10 after back-to-back incompletions. Now it's Wilson. Out to the right, he gets it to Lockett. And he can only get this to the 42-yard line. And that is not near enough. They get only 4 that time as that leads us to a 4th down.
Well, we hear so often how tackling has become almost a lost art in the NFL game. But it's so important to tackle well on these receivers, especially in a play like this one. 3rd down, they gave him the underneath stuff. You got to go up and make the tackle right away.
And this is off target to the left. Didn't get there anyway. It's no good. And this score will stay right where it is. Well, I was watching him in warm-ups, and he hit a 62-yarder that hit the crossbar and went over this one a little bit inside of that, but not enough leg.
And the difference is what?
Well, your live conditions, right?
Live conditions, game conditions are a whole lot different than practice, where you just pop it up there, no rush, no pressure. I think maybe that takes a couple yards away from you when you have to do it when it's real.
So they tried the 59-yarder and missed it, and now this offense starts just 1 yard shy of midfield. Here's a throw, complete right side to start things out. And he's able to take it across midfield before going out of bounds. 3 yards the gain there, 2nd down.
Let's just make this one simple. Could he be any more open than he was on that play?
Yeah, they lost him going to the outside.
Hard to believe because you go through your accounting on each and every defensive snap. Who's got who, what defense you're in. That was totally a blown coverage.
On second down, it's Taylor. And the result here the same as the last play. Another tackle behind the line of scrimmage by this Seahawk defense. This would be a loss of 3, and now a much tougher third down looming.
Defensively, he has been a presence in their backfield in the first half. Had a sack earlier, and now he comes up with a big tackle for a loss.
It'll be a nickel look here for the Seahawks on third down. To throw, it's Wentz. And that will be incomplete.
So many times when we talk about coverage, we're just talking about a defender running with a receiver, but a big part of it is understanding where the football is, finding it. In this case, when it arrived, it wasn't a surprise, and he was able to bat it away.
Now here's Rigoberto Sanchez as he'll kick it away for the second time. Fair catch called for right around the 11-yard line. 36 yards on the punt with no return. And it'll be Seahawk football as they take over deep in their own territory. And out now come the Seahawks. Last time out, they had that long 50-plus yard field goal that they missed.
And I'm sure on their sideline, they're thinking to themselves, okay, do we still want to try one if we're in that position again? And I would dare say that the answer would be yes. They're going to have a lot of confidence in their kicker. But just to be on the safe side, I'm sure they told their offensive guys, can we get a little bit closer this time?
Closer.
Yeah, well, you know, I'd rather get in the end zone first and foremost. But if all else fails, less of a field goal attempt for him.
Here's a run on first down that won't even get back to the line of scrimmage. He will lose a yard, 2nd and 11.
Sometimes that's a danger putting that jumbo set out there. You just get a lot of bodies massed in one location. You can wind up with 18, 20, maybe even all 22 in the box, and there's nowhere to run the football.
A loss of a yard there to start out. That leads to a 2nd and 11. There's Wilson to throw. They'll run the screen with Carson. And he'll get it up a little shy of the 15. They'll spot him down at the 14-yard line. A good job defensively to hold that to 4 yards, and now it's third down.
And that's all about recognition right there, because he's got to go from pass rush mode to pursuit mode, what defensive line coaches like to call retracing. And he's able to retreat and make the tackle for just a short gain.
On third down, Wilson going for Metcalf on the deep ball. And this is incomplete. Oh, he looked like he had a pretty good line on that one. That would have been a big play, but he could not pull it in.
That's what you're going to need to do against those big receivers. You got to get in there and get physical with them. That time he got in close, got in tight, and knocked the ball away.
Now here's Michael Dixon as he's on to punt for Seattle. And now a low liner. I think he mishit it. And a fair catch signaled for and taken successfully. Officially just 27 yards there on the punt. And the Colts are set up well as they take over 1st and 10 on the short side of the field. Indy set to go on offense once more. They've shown precious little here offensively thus far as they try again with a first down now. Wentz looking middle, and it's incomplete. He was looking for Jack Doyle that time, and that'll bring up 2nd down.
From the snap, he certainly looked like he knew where he wanted to go with the ball, but surprise, that guy was covered. So that took his attention elsewhere to no avail.
After the incomplete pass, here now is 2nd and 10. Now Wentz. They'll set up the screen to Taylor. He'll get only 3 there, so it leaves him with a 3rd and 7 ahead.
The key to any screen play is all in the deception. And that means everyone on the offensive side of the ball. But someone gave it up because that one wasn't very well concealed. And the defense able to rally to him and hold him for just a short gain.
And now on third down, they'll need to get it to the 36 to pick up the first. Throwing is Wentz. He'll find his man. That's Taylor again. And he'll lose yardage on the play back at the 45-yard line. That'll back him up 2 yards and also bring up fourth.
Well, Brandon, we could see that play developing, and they were hoping that he was going to be able to put a move on the first guy and turn it into a big play. But no such luck. The speed on defense continues to get better and better in the NFL. Pretty nice example there of those guys being able to run from their assignments and finish off that play.
Now here's Rigoberto Sanchez as he's on to punt for Indianapolis. And this punt goes out of bounds, and it'll be marked inside the 40. Now we will get another look at Seattle's offense. The crowd may be losing just a little bit of the edge after back-to-back punts.
They want some big plays. They want to see some offense. They want to see somebody break away, whether it's through the air or on the ground. Now it'll be interesting to see where the patience is on both sides. Each head coach, can you hang in there and not try and force something that could put your team in some jeopardy?
Wilson and the Seahawks take over now, 1st and 10 at their 36-yard line. Wilson going for Metcalf on the deep ball. And it's incomplete. Took a shot, couldn't connect. The intended receiver was DK Metcalf. And now it's 2nd down.
So many times we see teams go on the road and want to lean on their running game, but this crew just announced they're going to try and air it out and make hay downfield.
They'll try again from the 36 on 2nd and 10. Throwing is Wilson. And his throw is incomplete. That time trying to find Gerald Everett, and it's 3rd down.
A lot of times it's that first read that you have. Maybe you get it in pre-snap, and he locked in on his target, but he was covered quite well, and that one's incomplete.
So back-to-back incompletions, and that has him staring at a 3rd and 10. Here's Wilson. Going for Metcalf on the deep ball. And this is caught inside the 5. They're able to convert on 3rd down, and that sets up a 1st and goal.
You normally talk about the mobility and the accuracy first, but the arm strength, that's what can turn Russ into danger Russ.
And what was amazing to me was the fact he was able to get as much on the ball as he did because he was on the run. Normally when you're on the move like that, you don't expect the ball to go that far. You would think you need your lower body to be involved. That was an all-arm throw.
Wilson will hand to Carson on the option.
That gets him 3 yards closer here as it brings up 2nd and goal.
And, Brad, they went to a nickel defense, and that's a surprise this close to the goal line because ordinarily you use the back end of the end zone, the sidelines as extra defenders, and you want bigger people on the field to try and help against the run.
They'll try to run with Carson. And this time they were ready for him as they'll stop him right at the line of scrimmage. Officially it will go as a 1-yard loss, and that's going to lead to a 3rd down.
That's a really alert defense there because they saw the heavy look come in from the offense, countered it with extra linebackers who brought a little bit of speed and heft, and able to really make a big-time play for their defense.
A big play forthcoming. Here's 3rd and goal.
They'll try to run this one in. And this time he is in.
Yes.
Chris Carson with his 2nd touchdown of this opening quarter. And the Seahawks find a way to stretch their lead.
So 2 drives, 2 touchdowns here in this first quarter, and he's got both of them.
Well, he's certainly setting himself up for a big game here, and I think if the play caller doesn't get in his own way, they should keep riding him the entire way of this game. Until the defense proves they can stop him, that's what I would call.
Now Myers for the extra point. And this one's right through to make it a 14-3 ball game. So the drive there took 6 plays, and it was all capped off by the Chris Carson touchdown run. And after the touchdown, here's Myers to boot it away.
And here's Rodgers to return. And not a good return here at all, as they'll be forced to start at the 12-yard line.
Here comes the Indianapolis offense now as they get set to take over.
And right now these guys, they're shuffling a little bit, maybe doubting, because 3 straight drives have ended with them punting the football away.
Yeah, so you start pointing fingers at each other a little bit, asking a lot of questions. What are you seeing? What are you getting? Maybe trying to narrow down your playbook a little bit and maybe get simpler rather than more complex in order to try and fashion together a drive.
From down at the 12, it's 1st and 10. A carry by Taylor to start the drive.
And he'll get this one up to about his 14. A minimal gain as we tick down inside of a minute remaining in the opening quarter.
That play reminded me a lot of a former teammate of mine. We used to call the trash man. His ability to sift through traffic and make plays was uncanny.
And that's exactly what you want from your Mike linebacker.
I smell fear in that offense. I smell fear in that.
And he'll be taken down, but they've got this one up to the 35-yard line. A gain there of 21 yards. A little bit of a breakdown there defensively, and the RPO turns into a big chunk play.
And when you think about running offense, the word comes to mind, assignments, right? Because you have to carry those out. But you have to play assignment football on defense, too, against a team that runs these RPOs because everyone has to be in the right place. Who's got the quarterback? Who's got the running back? Who's covering the receivers? This one worked quite well on that play.
Let's go, defense. Hey, man up, D. Man up, D.
After one, a 14-3 ball game. Second quarter now from Indianapolis with the homestanding Colts in possession as they've got it with a 1st and 10. On the handoff, Taylor.
And he'll get this up to about the 38-yard line. Give him 3 on 1st down. It'll set up a 2nd and 7.
Well, from an offensive perspective, that was a tough run because he only picked up 3 yards. But let's flip it over to the defensive side. They now have the advantage. 3 3-yard gains, that means they're punting the ball likely on 4th down. That's what you're looking for when you're playing defense.
And he still has yet to get on track in this first half as they're going to stop him behind the line. A yard in the wrong direction makes 3rd down tougher. 3rd down and 9.
That was well played there defensively. 2 tight ends in the formation, which essentially gave them 7 blockers up front. Hard to imagine with all that size and beef that they could let a tackler through, but that's exactly what happened. A loss resulted.
The Colts on 3rd down. Not good. 0 for 4 thus far. This is 3rd and 9. Working from the gun. Wentz. He'll take a shot downfield for Pittman. And this is dropped. Oh, it's incomplete. He had a big gainer in his sights, but he could not reel it in. The passing game not in sync here early. And now it's 4th down. Now here's Rigoberto Sanchez as he'll punt it away for the 4th time today. And a fair catch signaled for and taken just outside the 20-yard line. 37 yards on the punt with no return. And it'll be Seahawk football, 1st and 10. Chris Carson trotting back out there. And he's found the end zone twice, and now I'm guessing he's thinking, hey, let's find it 3 times.
And you got to figure from the defensive perspective, how has he gotten there twice? What are we going to do to keep him out for a 3rd time? How do we tighten things down? Because he and his offensive mates, they are really in sync right now.
Coming to the line here to begin their next drive, the Seahawks offense. And they're hoping to redo their efforts in the last drive when they got into the end zone.
And just think of what it's like now on the sideline, because when you score a touchdown, you have to go over and look at the tablet and see what you did on the last drive. When you scored points, it's a whole lot better view than when you're trying to figure out how to fix things there.
This defense could use a few more plays like that right now.
It certainly could, but think about it from an offense's perspective right now. They've got a lead, but they don't want to throttle down too much and stall themselves. Still want to move at a nice pace.
Here's Wilson. And incomplete.
I would say it'd probably be a good idea for him to reintroduce himself to his receivers at the half, because they're definitely on different wavelengths. But I also don't advocate waiting that long. Next series, before you get out there, hey, let's get together, guys. Let's get this thing moving.
The Seahawks on third down, 2 for 5 to this point. This is 3rd and 10. Now Wilson. That's caught by his tight end, Gerald Everett. And he is going to have a Seahawks first down as they're able to get the third down conversion. 21 yards there on third down.
And that's well executed there on third down. And I love the confidence that they had to let their tight end try and find some space in the middle of the field, right in their quarterback's line of vision. And QBs love to make that easy throw, and they hooked up there for a first down.
They'll run on first down. It's Carson. And a minimal gain here as he's up to about the 47-yard line. Darius Leonard, the All-Pro, in on the tackle.
Not a lot of running room there, not a place to make a cut and kind of exit out, because they had everything bottled up. Looked to me like the linemen were taking on their blocks really well and giving up no creases.
3 yards on that last carry. Here's 2nd and 7. From the gun, it's Wilson. And that's off the mark, incomplete.
Well, to me, there was no question about the intent there, and I think he was a little fortunate that the penalty flag didn't come out for grounding. But he'll get away with it and get another shot on third down.
They head to the line facing a 3rd and 7 following the incompletion on 2nd down. Out of the gun, here's Wilson. And this is going to be incomplete.
That might be the third down stop that they needed, because they've had a lot of trouble slowing down this offense in the first half. This might be their opportunity to get off the field.
Now here's Michael Dixon as he's on to punt for Seattle. This is away, but boy, headed straight for the sidelines. And this one will not be returnable as it sails out of bounds. The Colts offensive unit ready to see what they can do here. These guys had to punt their last possession, and that's become too familiar of a refrain. Too many of these drives just wound up going nowhere.
But you know how in baseball, when the pitcher gets a base hit and he's on base, they bring his jacket out to him to keep him warm? A lot of times the punter goes to the sideline, puts on sweatpants or a wrap over his leg to keep it warm. He might need a massage from the trainer right now from all the work he's getting.
First and 10, Taylor now. Not much room here as he only gets it to about the 30. Bobby Wagner, the All-Pro, in on the tackle.
Defenses always talk about earning the right to rush the passer on third down, and you know what offenses want? Win first down so they can set things up for themselves better.
And that wasn't helpful there. Not a big impact on first down. Here's 2nd and 9, just a yard on that last run. To the right side, this is Taylor. They follow up the first down 1-yard run with a minimal gain of 2.
Vision is so important for the man in the middle, because his ability to look through all the clutter that's happening in front of him, diagnose a play, and then go make it and finish it, that's when the great ones know that they have the goods.
56, Mike, 56, right there, 56.
Now Wentz on third down.
A good throw here, finding Pascal. And he gets this up across the 35 before he's out of bounds. Just a 5-yard pickup, and it leads to 4th down.
A short gain that doesn't get them the first down brings up a 4th down situation.
Really nice job defensively. They knew where the sticks were. They got the stop before it. Now here's Rigoberto Sanchez as he's on for the 5th time here today. And he deserves a bronze leg as he gets this one away. A 41-yard punt there with no return. And the offense will take over with a new set of downs. Tyler Lockett trotting onto the field, getting set for this next drive. Second quarter here, he has only 1 catch, but they have the lead. You got to think there's going to be more involved at some point.
That's what you would expect, but sometimes what defenses do to take away a player of his magnitude, it costs them in other areas. And right now, with them losing, they may have to change their focus, and maybe he will open up a little bit more as the game goes on.
Yeah, well, so far, just the single catch. Wilson and the Seahawks take over now, 1st and 10 at their own 19-yard line. He gives it off to Carson. He is taken down at the 21 after a short gain of 2.
Early down stuff to put this offense in a precarious position. We know that securing the point of attack, especially against the big-bodied guys in the middle of this D, has got to be priority 1.
The last run got a couple. Here's 2nd and 8. Wilson after the play fake to Carson. Going for Metcalf on the deep ball. And that will be incomplete. Trying to dial up the long one way out there, but it'll be 3rd down.
Thus far, they have been able to move the line of scrimmage very well in the running game. Almost felt like they said in the huddle, can you guys pass protect? Let's take a big shot downfield. Didn't get it on that one, but they may come back to it again.
Now Wilson. A fight for it, and this is caught. What a catch. One heck of a 3rd down conversion. 33 yards. Pretty good play by both the thrower and the catcher there, Charles. 3rd down. Showed a lot of trust in his receiver.
And what I liked about the play was his receiver's understanding that everything wasn't on time back in the pocket. Rhythm was off a little bit. He adjusted as well and gave them a chance to complete that play.
So the line of scrimmage moves all the way across the 50 now as they come up 1st and 10. They run it with Carson. And he's going to get this inside the 30.
Let's go.
And between the last 2 plays, they moved it over half the length of the football field. I don't know what this says about me, but I love successful runs up the middle when the blocking is so well executed like that.
And it doesn't matter whether it's zone blocking, whether it's a power scheme. When you have a blocker on a defender and then the running back can read it, find the proper hole, and just go, it's sometimes a thing of beauty.
16. Watch 16. He likes to go for the side. We got trips over here.
Throwing now, Wilson on 1st down. Incomplete.
We've already seen him catch a few passes out of the backfield in the first half, unable to connect on that one.
Certainly seems like getting him the ball out of the passing game, though, is part of their game plan.
It certainly is because he catches it well, creates a mismatch. You're going to cover him with a linebacker, a corner, a safety. They feel like he can win every battle.
On 2nd down now, it's Carson, and he'll go down right on the edge of the red zone following a pickup of about 7 or 8. A lot to praise on this drive, obviously. I know you're seeing what I'm seeing. Those guys up front, they're getting it done.
Doesn't matter what play is called. They are handling their business at the line of scrimmage and dominating right now on this drive.
Well, the Seahawks on 3rd down. They're at 50%, 4 for 8. This time it's 3rd and 3. And that's going to be incomplete. The contact there enough to jar that ball free, and it brings up 4th down.
In the red zone, precision is the watchword. If the throw's a little too early, too late, maybe off a little bit, going to be a good chance that any attempt is going to be a contested one, and that one falls incomplete.
Myers' kick is good, and they will stretch the lead now to 17-3. So 3 points there, and they continue to build this first-half lead.
Yeah, every little bit helps, and the more that you can put together drives and start controlling the tempo, controlling possession, finishing with points, the better off you're going to be.
Myers now converted on the field goal try. Now he's on to kick it away. Rodgers on the return. And able to take it past the 25 and up to the 28-yard line. Now Jonathan Taylor and the Colts offense retakes center stage. He's had a good chunk of carries. Problem is for very little success. I don't want to put it all on his shoulders, but that's a big reason they're losing right now.
Have to be very careful that he doesn't start pointing fingers. Offensive line obviously trying. The defense is doing a nice job against him today. When it's all said and done, it's all about the guy in the mirror. He has to get it done better going forward.
See if he can look and do some soul searching now. Wentz now on first down. They'll try and set up the screen to Hines. And he's going to be down at the 35. Gain of 7.
And some play callers, when they go into games, they don't mind calling a lot of screens, and they don't care what down. They were maybe one block away from really having something there to start this drive. Good job defensively to cut through the blockers and make the tackle on the screen, or that could have gone for maybe 15 or 20 yards.
From the gun, it's Taylor. And there just continues to be nowhere to run. He's bottled up again at the line of scrimmage. Call it no gain that time, as it's going to leave him with a third and about 3 to go. From the gun, it's Wentz. And that is incomplete. The passing game not in sync here early. And now it's 4th down.
Well, this first half has not gone according to plan so far offensively, or even defensively for that matter. They could use a big-time spark somewhere, but it's not going to come on this drive as they have to punt this one away.
Now here's Rigoberto Sanchez as they're forced to kick for the 6th time today. And here's a very low-line drive, almost whiffed on it. A special teams mistake there, no doubt. Just 26 yards officially on the punt. And possession will switch hands, 1st and 10. Out comes Chris Carson in the Seattle offense. A good job in the passing game, decent job in the running game, but really they've been more effective through the air. We'll see if that shifts at all as this goes on.
Thus far, it feels like they're calling this game in reverse. Normally you run to set up the pass. Here it feels like they're passing, hoping to set up the run and be more effective later on in the game.
Yeah, you can do it both ways. We usually talk about it in the reverse, however.
No doubt about it.
Now Wilson on first down. And incomplete on the deep ball. Well, CD, let's turn our attention to some of the quarterback battles going on in the NFL. Jameis Winston winning the job in New Orleans. Teddy Bridgewater's going to get another opportunity. But you look at 3 that a lot of fans are talking about. New England, Chicago, and San Francisco. A lot of intrigue in those 3 cities.
There certainly is, Brandon. And when I think about New England and Mac Jones winning the job, the word that came to mind to me was inevitable. I knew this was going to happen at some point. I'm not sure any of us expected it to happen right out of the gate, but Mac Jones takes over that team, and I think it's a good choice for them. When you move on to Chicago, think about what's going on there. Andy Dalton holding the seat. Justin Fields had a very nice preseason, and Chicago fans starving for a QB1 that they can grasp onto for a decade or more. I think Justin Fields has that job before midseason. And last but not least, Jimmy Garoppolo will be the starter in San Francisco, but Trey Lance will play in some specialty situations to begin with. I think we'll have a pitched battle by about week 5 or 6, so it'll be fun to watch that one. And I'll just cap it with New Orleans. Jameis won the job. Taysom Hill goes back to his, RoboCop, Inspector Gadget type of a role, and New Orleans prospers.
So line of scrimmage still the 39 on 2nd and 10. Wilson. He'll spot Eskridge open left side. And he gets this down inside the 35 before going out of bounds. 5 yards. Now it's 3rd and 5.
Let's make this one simple. What a catch, especially the finishing part of getting his feet in bounds, toe tapping, and of course, foot dragging.
Little tapestry, if you will.
Oh, I like it.
The Seahawks on 3rd down. Not quite 50%, 4 for 9. This will be 3rd and 5. From the shotgun, Wilson. It's caught, Lockett. And inside the 20 before he's brought down. A Seahawk first down as Wilson finds Lockett.
Well, things are definitely going right for them here in the first half. Pick it down, any down, even 3rd down, no problem. They get a connection there and pick up a fresh set of downs, continuing to move the ball.
So here's a 1st and 10 now, down inside the 20. Now a give, right side. Carson. And he'll get this down only to the 18. Just a yard on the first down carry, so it's 2nd and 9.
A 1-yard gain can look like a disaster, but it all depends on how the game is going. Is it a series of 1-yard gains running the ball? If that's the case, you might have to start thinking about throwing it a little bit more. But if it's just the occasional 1-yard run, hey, congratulations to the defense. They won that one. Come back and get them the next time.
This throw complete. Wilson finding Lockett. That throw good for only a couple. It brings up 3rd down.
Never make the mistake that the slot receivers, especially the little guys like we're watching here, are just quicker than fast. A lot of them combine quickness and speed, and they catch a lot of footballs, as we just saw there.
The Seahawks on 3rd down. They've hit on half of them, 5 for 10. This is 3rd and 7. To throw is Wilson. And this will go to Carson out wide. And he is going to be stopped at the 12, short of the first down. He did his best to just get 4 out of that, but not enough. And now 4th down.
How about that strategy there, Brandon? 3rd down. They just said, we've got faith in our tacklers. We'll give you the short stuff, and just decided to protect the sticks. So every time I hear fans telling me tackling's not a part of the game anymore, plays like that, I can clip and save and show them you have to tackle well if you want to be a good defense.
Jason Myers on for the field goal. A 29-yard attempt.
And Myers able to knock it through, and that'll push the lead up to 17. So they put together a good little drive there, but ultimately stalling out in the red zone.
Yeah, I know a lot of people look at it as a little bit of a negative. They didn't get 6 points out of it, right? Didn't get the touchdown. But that's actually okay. They got 3 points, able to give their defense a little bit of rest, let them settle down over there. So all in all, to me, that's a good drive.
Myers now converted on the field goal try. Now he's on to kick it away. And here's Rodgers to return. And makes it across the 20 as his guys will set up shop at the 23-yard line. The Colts getting another possession here on offense. And they're coming off a 3-and-out, my friend.
I think they've got to look at that play sheet and go to a spot that they haven't gone before. Time to shake things up a little bit to try and get this offense moving.
Okay, so how do you do that? How do you shake things up?
You look at what you've called before, realize it hasn't worked
Go to
so
something
well,
else.
and maybe try and find one of those special plays from one of your better players, and maybe try and hit something big and get things going in the excitement area.
On first down, Taylor. And a short gain there as he'll get it up only to about the 24.
I think if they want to start getting back into this game, it behooves them to get better on first down.
Yeah, certainly not what they were looking for there out of the opening play of this drive. From the 24, Wentz. And down he goes. They bring down Wentz on the sack. L.J. Collier in there to take him down on what will take us to the 2-minute warning.
We remind you that coming up in 2 minutes' time, we'll hand you off to Orlando, where Jonathan Coachman will have highlights and analysis of this first half of action. And he'll take this up only to about his 18-yard line. Now the Seahawks going to use the first of their timeouts. So as they take it over, we step aside. Now here's Rigoberto Sanchez as the drive goes backwards, so he's on to punt it away. Looking up into the roof, and he muffs it. It's loose. But fortunately, he's able to recover his own fumble, or that could have been trouble.
I know there's no magnet in the ball, but sometimes for the punt returner, after such a scramble, it sort of feels that way, doesn't it? He has it, he loses it, somehow the ball finds its way back to him.
Atone for his sin, and you know he's taking a deep sigh of relief right now. Chris Carson trotting back out there. We're in the second quarter. They've got the lead. The lead, though, not so much because of the ground game, because of their air attack, Charles.
So what they're seeing so far is the possibility of things loosening up later in the ground game. Through the air first, maybe they have to start respecting that even more as the game goes on, and then there will be running lanes to find later.
Yeah, try to get him more involved here on this drive, maybe. On first down, Wilson. Over the middle, he finds Eskridge. Now he's going to get this all the way down inside the 35. Great way to start the drive. 20 big ones in a first down. And now with that completion, he's north of 200 yards here in the first half.
And he's going to break our statistician Marvin, isn't he? Because Marvin right now is just tallying it up. Hope his hand doesn't hurt too much doing this or keeps hitting the calculator. But my goodness, what a start he is off to. By the end of this game, he could have monster numbers. He just wants to continue to be accurate.
So they'll come up first and 10 now from the 33. Here's Wilson to throw. That's complete to the tight end, Everett. And all the way inside the 15 before they drop him. It's another first down as this time they get an even 20.
And Gerald Everett makes a good catch there for a first down. And he was signed away from the Seattle Seahawks division rivals, the Rams, after 4 years in L.A. backing up Tyler Higbee. He's excited about his opportunity in the Pacific Northwest. Last year, 41 catches, a career high.
Now the Seahawks call the second of their 3 timeouts, as they'll stop it with just over a minute to go before halftime. Back-to-back good plays have them on the move on first down. Now it's Wilson. Now the pressure gets there, and he goes down just inside the 20 at the 19. In on the sack, the former Buckeye, Tyquan Lewis.
I think this defense, Charles, realizing the deficit they're facing, they're going to have to step up and make more plays like we just saw there.
Yeah, those are the type of plays that can focus a defense because, as we know, they've had their trouble so far in this one. But they just proved to themselves that they can get to him, and I expect them to continue to bring that type of pressure in order to try and turn around their fortunes.
Protection certainly going to need to be a bit better here on 2nd and 16. And he's got his man in stride, complete. And the Seahawks are going to have first and goal as they try to finish off this drive with 6 points. The Seahawks moving pretty well through the air, another first down.
So many times in my career I've heard coaches talk about completions are one thing, but as long as we're there at the catch and we get guys on the ground, we can live with that. But if you're going to give up 10, 12, 15 yards after the catch, then your defense is going to be in a lot of trouble.
A chance to really cap off a big first half here as they come up on first and goal. Now it's Wilson. And he finds Lockett in the end zone. Touchdown, Seattle.
That's how you score.
Tyler Lockett as the first half is winding down. And the Seahawks will extend their lead here just before halftime. There was no going through the progressions on that touchdown pass.
Yeah, nor was it necessary. His receiver won that route early, presented himself, no reason to wait. Go ahead and put it on him and score a touchdown.
The extra point now coming from Myers. And the lead is now 24. 5 plays there on that drive. And it all culminates with a Seattle score. So not much time to speak of remaining in this first half as the kick's away. Rodgers on the return. And he's up past the 20 to the 22-yard line. The Indy offense at the line and set to go. And with 10 seconds left, not really enough time to put something together. They'll start out here with the option left. And he'll work this back to right around the line of scrimmage and surrender there. No gain there as he kept it himself at second down. So we've come to halftime after a very one-sided beginning to this one. As we'll head down to Orlando, that's where we find our man Jonathan Coachman at our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach.
Okay, Brandon, thanks very much. We saw a strong first half out of quarterback Russell Wilson. First up, though, let's run through the next-gen stats for the Seahawks in that first half. And it's been the passing game that's been the story. They have feasted on this secondary to the tune of 200-plus yards already through 2 quarters. Meanwhile, for the Colts, we check on their numbers on the ground in the first half, as they know they'll need to be better to overcome this halftime deficit.
All right, Coach, thank you, and we welcome everyone back for quarter number 3. The Seahawks with the advantage, and they get the football first as the second half is underway. Here's Reed. And he won't quite make it to the 25. The Seahawk offense set to go to begin this third quarter. The first half definitely went their way, and this would seem to be a great opportunity to kind of put this game a little closer out of reach with a score here.
Yeah, and it's a wonderful opportunity for them, because if they can add 7 more to their lead before the other guys even see the football, that could be the decisive blow in this game. I think that's how they're eyeing it. That's how they're approaching it.
Wilson and the Seahawks take over now, 1st and 10 at their own 24. They'll start out on the ground with Carson. And they're able to get this one across the 35. 53 yards rushing for him now with a couple of touchdown runs to boot. They've got the lead early here in the third quarter, and runs like that are how they establish that lead in the first half.
I love the fact that you're using the word lead, because they are leading from the front, pounding on the defense right now with the running game, and truly establishing themselves here in the second half.
So from the 36 now, 1st and 10. Now it's Carson. And this winds up a pickup of 2, maybe 2.5 to about the 39.
Oh, that's a real nice job there by the defensive front. They just engaged and held their ground. But how about the guy who made the play? We often talk about whether they take a good first step or not. Many times you just don't take any step. Just get your feet moving, get your body going, and then once he made the read, he was able to make the play.
2 yards on the carry there, and it's going to lead him to third down. With the pressure right, and smartly going into the slide there, Wilson has enough for the first. The rushing numbers for Wilson maybe down from earlier in his career, but he's still a threat to go, showing it there, picking up the first down. This is Carson. And able to break one tackle, but then quickly brought down. But a nice little gain.
Offensive linemen love creating space for their guys carrying the ball. But when that guy also breaks tackles and creates extra yardage, they almost feel like he's one of them, and they really embrace him.
Options galore here. Second and a few inches. They run again with Carson. And he'll get it down on the play to the 37. 6 yards to pick up, and that's a first down.
Second and inches is oftentimes an invitation for an offense coordinator to take a big shot downfield because he feels like he can come back on third down and pick up the first down. But sometimes you just don't want to break tendency. Stay with what you are, stay with who you know, and go get the first down. That's exactly what they did.
So 1st and 10, and if they score on this drive, might have to start digging in our second half blowout material. Looks like he's going to get a couple here on this first down carry, and that'll make it 2nd and 8.
He's had success on this drive, but not on this play.
Finally, they bowed up defensively. I think they were determined not to let him take it pretty much all the way down the field.
Yeah, it looks like they handled their run responsibilities correctly this time. What we call them run fits, everyone was in the right place.
From the 35 on 2nd down, Wilson. They'll run the screen with Carson. And they're able to get this one past the 30 down to the 25. 10 yards and a Seattle first down.
And while we may be looking at the scoreboard, this offense certainly is not, because they're showing no signs of backing down, even with a 3-score lead here in the third quarter. I think they keep taking their shots. They've seen blown leads happen throughout this league. They don't want to fall victim to it themselves.
They'll run on first down. It's Carson, and give him about 3 as he gets it down to the 22-yard line.
Brings up 2nd and 7 at the 22-yard line.
The last run got 3. Now here's 2nd and 7. They stay on the ground. Again, it's Carson. And he's going to get this pretty close to a first down at the Colts 17. Call it a gain of 5 there on the run, but they'll remain a yard or 2 short here with third down coming up.
I think we can safely say that those types of plays are the backbone of this offense. We know not every run's going to be a big hitter, but you know they'll take that type of result on each and every attempt.
Play action. Now Wilson. And that is incomplete.
Perhaps they overthought this one a little bit. They've been running it real well on this drive, and it was 3rd and short, okay? They decided to throw the football incomplete. Yeah, they might have thought just a little bit too hard about that play selection.
The offense staying out. They're going to go on 4th and 2. They run for it with Carson, and he'll have the first down, getting this one to the 14-yard line. Just a gain of 3, but they'll certainly take it as they convert on 4th down.
4th and 2 in the NFL, not ordinarily a running down anymore. Usually that ball is moved through the air. They went ahead and gave it to the back, and he ends up picking up the first down. I'm not sure if they fooled him as much as they just did a nice job executing.
Needed 2, and they got 3. Looking for Lockett, and it's intercepted. Picked off by Darius Leonard, the linebacker. And the return will stop him well inside their own 20 at the 15-yard line. So it was a drive that had real promise here to begin the third quarter, but ultimately derailed by the INT.
And that was the position you wanted to be in, coming out to start this third quarter, get a nice drive going, looking for the end zone. Possibly got a little bit too greedy right there.
Here's the Colts now as they get ready for their first possession on offense of the second half. And they just got a little help from their defense forcing the turnover. Now can they make that pay off in points?
They need to, partner. They're down on the scoreboard. Need to take advantage of those opportunities, and this is a good one right in front of them.
Line of scrimmage, the 15. It's 1st and 10. They'll run the toss here with Taylor. Able to push his way through and able to get this across the 20 before going out of bounds. It's a 6-yard pickup, and it gets him to 2nd and 4.
Running lanes were at a premium in the first half, but he's able to find some room there, and he's hoping that that's a precursor of a big second half.
The last run got 6, now 2nd and 4.
Ready? 54 is Mike. 54 is Mike. Check.
Working from the gun, Wentz. That's into the hands of Pascal. Call that a loss of a yard, and things get a little more difficult here. 3rd and 5. Now Wentz. Throwing the out route, incomplete. It's Doyle. And he'll get this up past the 25 before he's out of bounds. Wentz to Doyle there. 1st down, Colts. Pete Carroll none too pleased with that last call. He's going to throw out the challenge flag. Did he keep those feet in bounds? That's the question they've got to decide. And I got to say, watching it in real time, it was awfully close.
Yeah, it certainly looked like a heck of a catch because he didn't appear to bobble it, which could complicate things. But even with the benefit of replay, that's pretty tight.
Well, here's the call.
Come on, fellas.
After review of the play, the ruling on the field stands.
So the challenge there does not go their way. This will indeed remain a completed pass. On 1st and 10, here's Wentz. Taken in by the tight end, Doyle. And he's going to get a solid gain of 9 before being brought down. 2nd and right at a yard.
Now that's staying ahead of the chains. Really good pickup on 1st down, hitting the tight end there. Now it brings up a 2nd and manageable.
Just found a hole in that zone. On 2nd down, it's Taylor. And he'll get it out near the 40 to the 39. 4 yards the pickup, 1st down.
Well, they certainly have been able to get him going and establish the run, so I think it's time to abandon that plan and start chucking it all over the park. And you know who's excited about that? The defensive front. They've got a chance to pin their ears back and get after him now.
So from the 39 now, they'll come up on a 1st and 10. Here's Wentz to throw. He's got Jack Doyle, and he'll go out of bounds. It appears right at the 45. A gain of 6 there on 1st.
I know they don't like to hear it when they get to a certain age, but then you have to start to use your skills, your wiles, right? Your mind to beat guys to the football, and getting your toes tapped in bounds definitely qualifies as that, doesn't it?
The veteran showing he still has the agility. Just a yard on the pickup there, and it'll leave him with a 3rd and 3.
Well, they're hoping that the second half is better for him than the first half. They've got to find a way to get him going. He's a big part of their offense.
Seventh play of the drive now as they come up on a 3rd and 3. Now Wentz. Buying time to his left. And he will slide to a stop. He does have the first down. 4 yards there as they let him out of the pocket, and he got enough for the first.
With nowhere to throw it, decided to scramble, and a nice job, CD. Got the yardage that he needed.
Yeah, and his teammates are certainly going to appreciate that effort, even if his coaches don't, because they would have wanted him to slide and protect himself. But he chose team gain over personal protection.
Wentz now on first down. His throw incomplete.
Another attempt, another incompletion, and when I look at the scoreboard and where we are in this game, it comes to mind that they have to start getting the ball in the hands of their playmakers. Throw it to the guys that maybe can take a short pass and turn it into a long gain or make people miss downfield. They've got to have points, and the guys who can put the ball in the end zone, they're the ones that need to touch the ball.
On second down, it's Taylor, and that play will go nowhere, losing yardage back near midfield at the 49. It'll go as a loss of a yard, so now they deal with 3rd and 11.
This defense is just flat getting after it. They have not given up much of anything in the run game. Case in point right there.
This offense in desperate need of a conversion as they come up on 3rd down.
56 to Mike, boys, 56.
Now Wentz. He's going to air one out and unable to connect. Incomplete. I'll give them credit. They took their shot, but it's going to bring up 4th down.
What we've seen so far in this game, they are not going to allow a big shot over the top. You can have whatever you want underneath. They'll give you that, but they're not going to let you beat them deep.
Now here's Rigoberto Sanchez as he's on to punt for Indianapolis. Oh, this is off the side of his foot. So out of bounds on the punt, and the spot will be, the side judge says, right at the 35-yard line here. Out comes Chris Carson in the Seattle offense. He is hoping to find the end zone for a 3rd time, and we sit now in the 3rd quarter.
And nothing would excite him more, but I think even more so, his offensive line. Anytime you've got a guy scoring that many times, that means you've done a really nice job in front of him.
You're always giving props to the big fellas up front.
It's always a good idea. Those are some massive men.
Wilson and the Seahawks take over now, 1st and 10 at their 35-yard line. They go back to the air here after the INT on the last drive. And he's going to be stopped up right at the line of scrimmage. No gain on the play there. It'll be 2nd down.
Well, that was a simple throw and catch, but even with that completion, 0 yards gained, so they're behind schedule on down and distance.
I think they were hoping to get it to him. He could make a man or two miss, but that window closed quickly.
3rd quarter here in Indy. This is 2nd and 10.
Here's Wilson.
That's taken in by Eskridge, complete.
And he gets this one to midfield before he's brought down.
Wilson able to hook up with Eskridge. 1st down, Seattle.
That's another beautiful throw right there. Gets it to his man right in stride, and I think that throw kind of exemplifies what we've seen from this offense throughout this game. They've been in rhythm, they've been sharp, they've been on it, and they pick up another 1st down there.
And they'll let the quarterback keep it here on 1st and 10.
And he is across midfield from 149 to the other 49, a gain of just 2.
2 yards on the pickup. It's 2nd and 10.
On 2nd down now, it's Carson. And that play goes nowhere. Taken down, losing yardage at the 50, right at midfield.
Part of the thinking when you bring in extra tight ends, you're hoping that each of your guys gets those one-on-one blocks and creates a crease for your runner. You know what the converse is, though? You've got to win those one-on-one blocks, and when you don't, that's the result you end up with.
From midfield now, here's Wilson. And the throw there going to be incomplete.
Not too many things get to a quarterback of this magnitude, but I think it's safe to say that pressure can get to any quarterback.
Now, he's obviously a great franchise quarterback, but Felt the pressure, threw it incomplete. Now here's Michael Dixon. He'll boot it away from about his 35. And a nice job here to down this one right on the 5-yard line.
That punt was near perfection as it checked up inside the 5-yard line. You never know where these things are going to go, do you?
No, what was it? You got a John Heisman quote about that,
yeah,
right?
He said the football is roughly a prolate spheroid, which means it's going to bounce funny, and you never know where it's going to end up.
Coming out with a jumbo package to start the drive. They'll run with Taylor to begin the drive. And he will take this up to about the 8-yard line. A gain of 3, second down.
And that's frustrating for a defense because they've got them pinned down deep. And on the first play, they gave up a run that keeps an offense on schedule.
Yeah, because 3 to 4 yards, that's all you're looking for right there, right?
That's absolutely perfect, really, as a play call. You get 3 to 4 yards on first down. That's what they talk about us all the time, about being ahead of the chains or on target, ahead of schedule. They were after that run.
Again, it's Taylor. And they'll get him down up past the 15-yard line. That's good for an Indianapolis first down on a gain of 10.
That's the type of run that Jonathan Taylor gives you so often, and you just can't take it for granted. He finds a way to get those extra yards. The third running back taken in the 2020 draft, but he had the best numbers by far of any of them. 1,169 yards, third most in the NFL, and by the last quarter of the season, he ranked among the best runners in the league.
So from inside the 20, here's 1st and 10 at the 18. Wentz going to give this to Taylor. And give him 4 yards there. It'll be 2nd and 6.
Oftentimes we praise an offense for their variety of being able to hit people with the run in the pass. But in this game, how about what we're seeing from the safeties? They are all over the field. Doesn't matter if they threw it or if they're trying to run it.
I don't think we've ever awarded an MVU, most valuable unit, but you're right. It might go to them in this game.
I like that. MVU. Well done.
And they're not going to get to the line to run another play. So we will switch ends as the third quarter has come to a close. We'll return with more after this break. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports. Coming up on a 2nd and 6. Wentz now to throw. They'll set up the screen to Taylor. Only a yard there. Sniffed out well defensively, and it brings up 3rd.
I thought that wasn't a bad time to call the screen. I thought late game, down on the scoreboard, had to figure they were expecting a pass downfield.
Yeah, so the edge rushers, they're coming. That could have hit big. You're right. Good recognition defensively to snuff that one out.
Let's see what you got. Mike 56.
Shotgun now for Wentz. And Pascal's got it. And he's taken down, but able to slip across the 35. 14 yards that time for number 14.
Well, this game was decided a while ago, and that completion there is going to artificially inflate his passing numbers. So right now, the only one really applauding probably his agent as he thinks about angling for a new contract.
Line of scrimmage, the 37 on 1st and 10. From the gun, it's Wentz. He'll take a shot downfield for Pittman. And that is incomplete. He was looking for Michael Pittman that time. But it's going to be 2nd down.
Love the idea, love the concept, but you got to leave a little room on the sideline so he can fade into it when he makes the catch. That was thrown too close to it for the receiver to make a play.
Line of scrimmage, again the 37 as they line up 2nd and 10. Wentz to throw again. And that one too far in front. He couldn't reel it in. It's incomplete. Another pass attempt, another incompletion. You figure defensively, you're in the fourth quarter here. You've held the team under 100 yards passing. You've done your job.
Especially in today's NFL, which is truly a pass-first league.
Here comes the 7th play now of this drive as this is 3rd and 10. Throwing is Wentz. Into double coverage, and it's intercepted. Picked off near the 29, and they're going to set up shop at the 27-yard line. A few things better than a big man interception. You can always tell right when they get the football, there's that level of excitement and nervousness, and also like, what the heck do I do with this thing?
And you say no better sight? Well, not for the quarterback who just threw it. It's bad enough to throw a pick, but to throw one to the big guy? But you're right about that. Now what do I do with it? But what's fun about it is you know they're going to be in the film room after this ball game telling all their teammates, maybe I should shift over to offense. I've got skills. What do you think?
Oh, absolutely. I always find myself cheering for them after they intercept it. Unfortunately here, he couldn't make it into the end zone. On first down, Carson. 91 yards on the ground for him so far.
Well, that's a pretty good drive starter right there. And I don't know, partner, if you're even thinking about sitting on the ball right now. They may just want to run their regular offense.
In plus territory. And as an offensive coordinator, you don't want your team to go into a shell, do you?
No, you really don't, because as soon as you take your foot off the gas, it's real hard to put it back on and mash it, because once everyone's emotions come down, hard to start them up again. So I think he may want to keep them cranking high right here.
And he's got 4 down inside the 20 to the 18.
On any running play that's called, they're always hoping that it's going to break big and go the distance. But when you get a nice gain like that, you're able to do so many things anyway. You can come back and run essentially the same play again, continue to move the ball on the ground, or you can decide to throw the ball now, because usually you have the defense back on its heels.
Heavy set out there on 3rd and 1. Here's Carson. And it was a stiff arm there that freed him enough to get the first before he's tackled.
Good work, boys. Let's go.
That gives him 98 yards in this game, and he's got to feel pretty good about that, but the entire offense does. The big thing, though, Brandon, they've got to get to 100, though.
You think he knows he's at 98?
I think someone has told him by now, and here's the thing. Getting to 100 or more is tangible evidence that you've had a nice day running the football, and that's what his offensive line wants for him and for themselves.
So signs of life in what's been a dormant offense in this second half. Here's 1st and 10. On the delay, here's Carson. And the reinforcements come in as they're going to stop him behind the line. He'll lose a yard there, and it's 2nd and 11.
When a draw works, it can be a thing of beauty. But when it doesn't, oh, it can be ugly. And in this case, loss of yardage ugly.
Second and 11 now. Hands it off out of the gun. And he'll get about 3 as he's taken down at the 14-yard line. And for the Colts, an extra defensive back in there now on 3rd down. And here's a handoff out of the gun. And he won't be close to a first down as he runs into a wall right around the line of scrimmage. No gain there on the play, and that's going to leave him with a 4th down.
He may be a bit undersized compared to the modern-day NFL defensive tackle, but what he lacks in size, he definitely makes up for in his ability to make tackles in the run game as well.
Jason Myers for the Seahawks field goal. A 31-yard attempt.
Myers' kick is good. And that'll push the lead from 24 up to 27. So that's a 7-play drive that ultimately stalls out there at the end.
Yeah, things were a little leaky in the beginning on that drive, weren't they? But how about the front 7? As they got closer to the goal line, things stiffened a little bit, forced the field goal.
Myers now converted on the field goal try. Now he's on to kick it away.
Here's Rodgers to return. And he'll go down as this drive will start at the 25-yard line. For the Colts now, they're ready to get the football back.
And following the interception, just any interception, are you a little bit more cautious when you start that next drive, or no, you just throw that out the window?
I think you are. I don't think that there's any way you can run back out there and go, totally didn't affect me. Let's just go ahead and be loose with the football again. You're going to take care of it, but you have to be careful about being too cautious because now you can't run any offense at all.
Still want to attack. We'll see how they attack them here.
56, the mic, boys, 56.
Trying to shake off the interception. He'll look to throw. Steps away to his left. He'll get 8 on the scramble there. It'll be second and a couple.
Now, that was not a bad scramble there on first down. He didn't force it, nor did he throw it away. He was able to take off, and now he made it a very manageable second and short.
Here's a 2nd and 2 now from the 33.
56, Mike, 56, right there, 56. We got to get the push.
To throw, it's Wentz. Middle of the field, he finds Pascal. 7 yards there and a first down.
This has to go down as one of the simpler routes in the playbook, but oh so effective. Nice completion there. Keeps the sticks moving.
Watch the pass. 54 is Mike,
Wentz now on first down.
Let's go.
And down he goes. They bring down Wentz on the sack.
And you could say that is just another cherry on top for this defense. That entire team, but really this defense has sparked what's been an impressive effort here in this one.
And I notice you used the word sparked because you're not seeing that on the other side of the ball, are you? The offense right now, the spark has left their game, and it's been because of what you described, that defensive pressure.
2nd and 16.
Another try after the first down sack. Wentz, and he drops it incomplete. And their struggles continue here. Well, the trials and tribulations of being a quarterback in this league, it's tough. It's got to be wearing on him out there.
Well, he has been sacked a number of times. He had an interception, so I'm going to give him a skosh of credit for hanging in there and trying to make something happen, despite the amount of pressure he's been under this entire game.
Mike, 56.
Now on 3rd and long, they'll look to throw. He finds his man, complete. That's Doyle. And he gets this up across the 35 before he's out of bounds. Just a 5-yard pickup, and it leads to 4th down.
All right, say it with me now. There are a lot of different words we can come up with. Maybe we go back and forth after that play, getting his toes tapped down to make that catch. Crafty.
Yep. Wiley.
Oh, definitely.
All the veteran names.
You name it. Has every move in the book and continued to get better throughout his career so he can make that type of a catch.
And this is incomplete. Oh, it looked like he had a pretty good line on that one. That would have been a big play, but he could not pull it in.
Well, that's another mistake there on the drop pass on 4th, and we've seen him do things like this all game.
It's not hard to figure out why they're down by that deficit. They haven't made plays that are going to keep them in the game or win the game all game long. That's another example right there. It all boils down at the end of it to execution. Either you make the play or you don't.
So here's a 1st and 10 at the 38.
58 to Mike, 58. 58 to Mike.
From the gun, he'll hand this off.
2 yards on the pickup there. It'll be 2nd and 8.
Partner, you know I love to point out when teams break tendency and do something a little bit different from the norm. But when you run the ball in the first play of the drive, that's not a tendency breaker at all. That's just trying to establish yourself as you move forward.
Line of scrimmage, the 36 on 2nd and 8. Carson will take the handoff out of the option play.
And he'll snag about 5 yards down to the 32.
When you find that kind of yardage, you couldn't be more confident as a ball carrier. And guess what? You're going to go back and tell your offensive coordinator, I'd like to keep carrying it, thank you.
Go, 14. Watch the wheel.
On third down, it's Carson. And he's got the first as they'll bring him down at the 28-yard line. Just 4 yards on the pickup, but that's good enough to extend the drive.
Well, that was a unit that understood exactly where the first down marker was, handed it to their guy who could run it, created some space, and he got there.
Good job right there. Good job right there. Green 80.
They'll run on first down. Carson. And inside the 20 before he's brought down. 121 yards rushing for him now as his sensational afternoon continues.
Brendan, every great running backs coach I've talked with has always talked about when you have great vision, you're not consciously thinking about your cuts and your moves. You're just doing them. And I think that's what we're seeing tonight. He's about run them into submission.
You took the words right out of my mouth. I was just going to use that phrase. He has run them into submission.
Wave the white flag.
So from the 17 now, here's a 1st and 10.
Here we go. 58, right over there.
On the option, a handoff to Carson. Able to fight for about 4 yards there to the 13.
This drive is pretty clear. Almost feels like old school fundamentals, doesn't it? Want to impose their will on the defense. What's that, 5 straight runs?
Yeah, 5 straight carries to start this drive. And like you said, the way it's working, they may just stick with it.
Let's do this.
The run got 4. Now they deal with a 2nd and 6. From the shotgun, Wilson. Toward the back corner of the end zone, but he could not get the feet down. This will wind up incomplete. Tyler Lockett was the target there. 3rd down here.
Not only did they drop what looked like an interception in the end zone, they blew a golden opportunity to shift the momentum.
So after the 2nd down incompletion, they'll come up now against a 3rd and 6.
Hey, 58 is the mic. Go 58 is the mic.
To throw is Wilson. Here's Carson with a catch out of the backfield. And he goes backwards here, losing yardage back to the 16. A 3-yard loss. 4th down now.
Excuse my snarkiness here, but isn't the idea of completing a pass supposed to mean you get downfield and gain yards?
Especially on 3rd down.
Yeah, that one. How about the defense? Figured that one out in a big way. Yeah, they completed it all right and lost yardage.
Jason Myers on for the field goal of 33-yard attempt.
And Myers able to knock it through. And they're sitting pretty now as the lead grows even further. So chalk that down as an 8-play drive capped with a field goal.
Yeah, as a friend of mine used to say, they were moving and grooving for a while, but they couldn't keep the momentum going enough to get a touchdown out of it.
Myers now converted on the field goal try. Now he's on to kick it away. Rodgers on the return. A lane opens here. He's past the 30. Room to run at the 50. Still going inside the 30. And they are not going to catch him. He's in. Still down very big on the scoreboard, but a little feather in their cap here.
And it's a big-time play, and if you don't get energized after a kick return, well, then your team just doesn't have any spark. We'll find out if this is the start of a big comeback or just cosmetics as we go along.
Now for the point after. Now that shaves a bit off the lead. It's now a 23-point game. Well, we talk a lot about explosive plays on offense. How about an explosive play on special teams? Certainly one there on the kick return for a touchdown. So still lots of work left to do, but here comes the onside kick. And the Seahawks, looks like they've recovered. They have. Fourth quarter, they felt like they needed the football back. Unfortunately, they couldn't get it.
And I know we've brought analytics into the game, and someone has said here that the data says that when a team's expecting an onside kick, 80% of the time, the team expecting it, they do actually recover the ball, which is what we saw here. I just wonder if that number is much more of a anecdotal type of a number. Kind of like when the coaches tell us, well, when you score on special teams, 93% of the time you win the game. I'm still waiting to see that number is empirical.
Watch the twins. We got four.
On first down, it's Carson, and very little there. He might have gotten a yard. Yeah, I think he got a yard to the 41.
But not much on that run, Charles.
No, that's exactly the way to execute a run blitz there. They guessed correctly that they would move the ball on the ground, honed in on it, and stopped them. Mark that down for a win in the defense's column.
They'll go option on second down, right side. Only a yard there on the keeper, and that's going to leave them with a third down.
I certainly know that I, for one, would not like to be on the other end of a tackle when this guy's coming at you full speed from his strong safety spot. Boy, that was a nice play.
And these are the kind of plays that defenders dream about. A chance to get a big running start and go after the quarterback. He was not at all put off by the option. I think he committed to the quarterback right from the outset, and he was able to get in there and put the hit on him.
If they want a first, they need to get the football to the 32 here on third down. Now Wilson.
And this is dropped. Oh, it's incomplete. He had a big gainer in his sights, but he could not reel it in.
Fourth quarter, you've got the big lead. If you're coaching, Charles, you still taking shots like that downfield?
I'd be a little more concerned with running some clock and making sure you're taking care of the lead, because you keep flinging it around, you throw a couple of picks, you can put yourself in jeopardy.
Now here's Michael Dixon as he's on to punt for Seattle. And we are inside of 2 minutes left in this lopsided affair. So the Colts in possession of the football as we get you reset. The Colts come to the line ready to start their next drive. They're down big here late. I don't know. You just one last drive here for pride?
Some people like to do that. I remember playing for a guy once we were down huge, and someone said, "Coach, what do you want to call?" He just waved a hand like, "Who cares? Let's get out of here and do something some other time." But some teams like to do something at the end to feel a little bit better as they continue to move forward.
Yeah, probably just want to put this one behind them.
Hey, here we go. Watch the pass. Watch the pass.
Looking to throw again on second down. Wentz. And down he goes. They bring down Wentz on the sack.
And that was Carlos Dunlap who got in to take him down.
The Colts going to use the first of their timeouts as they'll talk it over here before what will be an important third down.
Now after the sack, Wentz and the Colts, they're left looking at a 3rd and long.
On 3rd and long, it's Wentz. finding Pittman. And way up past the 35 before he's taken down. How about that? They weather the storm of a 3rd and 17 to pick up the first. Offense for them has been at a premium. You wonder where plays like that have been all game long.
They're thinking the exact same thing themselves, but they're also looking forward now because now these plays are really for next week, trying to get some momentum going.
Pass complete to Hines. And he gets this to the other side of midfield across the 45 before going out. This gain not quite as good as the last, but still over 40 yards between the two. And at his size, he's a smaller back. You can get him to football. He can kind of get lost, make someone miss. It's good for him.
Yeah, it's great for him. I like what you said there. Sometimes he gets lost in the traffic a little bit, but get him out in the open field into some space. That plays to his strengths the best and keeps him out of it where all the big boys are, you know, make him make someone miss in the open field.
On first down, Wentz. Forced out to his left. He'll wind up getting right about 4 there on the scramble, and it's 2nd down.
Well, he did a nice job keeping his eyes downfield, waiting for someone to get open. But once the pressure forced his eyes down to see the rush, it was time to make a break for it.
Now you've got to hustle your guys to the line and get them set. From the 39, Wentz throws this one right side to Pascal. And that'll wind up moving the chains again as the tackle's going to be made at the Seahawks' 29-yard line. Now the Colts going to burn the second of their timeouts as they'll stop it with a little over 30 ticks to go in the football game. On 1st and 10, here's Wentz. Taken in by the tight end Doyle. And down inside the 15, shy of the 10. Another big hitter there. This one good for 18. Now the Colts will use their 3rd and final timeout as the clock will stop with an even 20 seconds left to go. Now a 1st and 10 at the 11. Here's Wentz to throw. Sideline throw, it's complete. And a nice job there of keeping the toes inbounds. A gain of 8 there on the 8th play of the drive. Here's 2nd and 2 now from the 3. Again, it's Wentz. And he's got his target. It's caught for a Colts touchdown. Zach Pascal there to make the grab. And the Colts are able to cut into this lead.
And yeah, that touchdown counts for their team, but I think it counts more for the fantasy guys, doesn't it?
Yeah, it's just something maybe positive to look at on film, but this one's over, let's be honest.
Yeah, I agree with you totally on that one.
And now they'll empty the backfield here as they elect to go for 2.
Let's go, defense. Our time. It's our time. Right there.
Wentz going to look to throw. To the end zone, but knocked away and incomplete.
I don't know about you, but I can't wait for a few years of 2-point tries and see what the data tells us, because a lot of teams want to throw the ball in this situation, this time unsuccessfully. I just wonder if maybe running the ball might be the way to go.
With it moved up from the 3 to the 2, you would think maybe a few more attempts at running.
I think stats over time may bear out that running the ball will at least be the equal of throwing it in that situation.
Sanchez now, he'll kick it away following the touchdown. Here's Reed returning. And no chance to get away as they'll get him down at about the 17-yard line. The Seahawks in victory formation as they go ahead and take the knee. A road win in the National Football League. Charles, you never take that for granted, no matter who you're playing, no matter where you're playing.
You take it and you run with it. And you know you primed the pump all week in your own home facility. No one thinks we can do this. Only people who believe are right here in this room. And then you go on the road, band together, and get it done.